We'll call this meeting to order. Thank you, sir. Tonight we have Pastor Derek Jackson for our invocation. He's pastor at First Baptist Church, 290 East Winchester Street in Gallatin. He received a master's degree in business administration from Keller Graduate School of Management, a master's degree in theological studies from Vanderbilt University Divinity School, and currently is pursuing a doctorate degree from Lipscomb University's Hazlitt School of Theology. He also graduated from the John A. Gupton School of Mortuary Science. He became the pastor of First Baptist Church of Gallatin in 2001, the youngest pastor in the church's 150-year history. He is actively involved in numerous civic, charitable, and community activities. Pastor Jackson and his wife Lori are the proud parents of Jeffrey and Joshua. Pastor Jackson, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We greatly appreciate it.
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for this wonderful county. We thank you for this gathering, this meeting on tonight. We pray that your spirit would hover over each of us. Give these commissioners wisdom, knowledge, discernment, sense of fairness, Lord God, openness. We're grateful for your hand of protection over us throughout this year. And Lord God, as we conduct the people's business, we pray for your continued favor and blessings over Sumner County, wonderful state of Tennessee, and these great United States of America. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready for the roll call? All right, let's have our roll call.
Roll call is now open. Each commissioner, please record your presence by pushing the green button. Mr. Chairman, I'm showing 20 members present.
Okay, we have several.
Correct, yes.
Yes, Commissioner Foster is still recovering from heart surgery and sent a message telling everyone Merry Christmas, that he couldn't make it tonight, but wanted everybody to know that he was with us in thoughts and prayers. And then Commissioner Kruger is in Mexico. Mr. Goode.
Mr. Chairman, just FYI, I got a text from Commissioner Dr. Taylor as well as Mr. Pomeroy, stuck in traffic but on their way.
Okay, so we have two more that will join us in just a moment. And well, you've got your regular agenda and consent agenda before you. We'll approve those in just a second. We will make, I'll wait for a motion to approve. We will bump under report of the chair, announcements from the chair, numbers 7, 8, and 9. We will bump our honors for Merrill Hyde Magnet School to January. They will be with us at our January meeting. So those are the changes that I know. Is there a motion to approve our agenda and consent? Motion made by Commissioner Aiken. Second by Commissioner Shell. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, your minutes are in your packet. I'll wait for a motion. Motion made by Commissioner Goode, second by Commissioner Gamenden. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Please show that I'm abstaining. I was out last month. All right, do we have anyone to speak on an agenda item other than our public hearings tonight? I don't see the... Okay. Public comments are closed. All right, in terms of other announcements from the chair, I'm going to yield the floor to Commissioner Graves. He has an announcement.
I just want to let everybody know we're having the Bethpage Christmas Parade this Saturday, December the 23rd. Line-up times about 11 or 12. Be some refreshments while the lasts. And the parade starts at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
At Alexander Landscaping, I believe that address is about 1512 Rock Springs Road.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Graves.
One of the greatest parades on earth.
All right, your veteran service report is on your desk. Your ethics package for 2018 is also on your desk. You may want to go ahead and finish that tonight and give it back to Leah and her staff. I think Ben's going to collect them tonight. So if you finish it tonight, go ahead under your name, write completed, and that'll help him as he gets them ready to submit to the state. All right, I believe Commissioner Holt is, actually your Highway Public Works Fund analysis is also in your packet, along with a financial statement memo. And I believe at this time, our county executive is going to come forward to present a special recognition for our county tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is with distinct honor and privilege that I have a certificate of recognition honoring Judge Barry Brown. Judge Brown, if you come up with your family and we have a certificate of recognition honoring the Honorable Judge Barry Brown, whereas Judge Brown has presided over the Sumner County General Sessions Court Division II and Sumner County Juvenile Court since 1986 and is retiring in December of this year. And whereas Judge Brown worked as a private practice lawyer after he graduated Nashville YMCA Law of School, and he joined the General Sessions Court in Sumner County. And whereas Judge Brown initiated the Sumner County Teen Court, the first and longest continuous operating youth court in the state of Tennessee, and was involved in numerous programs including CASA and Straight Talk. And he has been the heart and soul of the juvenile justice system with his innovative programs addressing juvenile offenders and at-risk children and their families. And whereas it is appropriate that Judge Brown be recognized and honored for his fairness, integrity, character, and diligent service to the citizens of Sumner County and the judiciary of Tennessee. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners meeting in regular session on the 18th day of December 2017 that this body does hereby express its appreciation and gratitude for the many years of commitment and dedicated service of the Honorable Judge Barry Brown, and urges all of our citizens of Sumner County to acknowledge his accomplishments and contributions to our community. And be it further resolved that this resolution is to be spread on the minutes of this body, and the clerk is to furnish a copy of this resolution to the Honorable Judge Barry Brown.
Second.
Mr. Decker got the motion. Commissioner Vaughn Commissioner Breen got the second. All in favor, say aye. Motion passes unanimously.
We will. Let me just say this. I was elected in 1990, and all these years it was my honor to serve with Judge Brown. He has done a phenomenal job. We know that life goes on, but I don't know that anybody can fill your shoes, Judge. We will miss you, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you very much. I think I can talk pretty loud here on everything. I think they want y'all to come behind me over here.
I know. Wait just a minute, Mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great pleasure to serve everybody for the past 32 years. I don't know where 32 years went, but it's gone now. I look at everybody here, and of course, Patty and I went to school together. Merrill started Focus for us. Mr. Guthrie over there, I've known him many years. Mr. Vaughn, Mr. Grave and I went to school together. Y'all all look a lot younger than I ever thought about being right now. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure here. I started off with, I think Bethel Brown was the commissioner, was the executive at that time. We had Bethel, who else was it?
We had Bethel, then we had Tommy Marlin, Hank Thompson.
And you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to serve the Sumner County here. I'm very humbled by it. I love my work, but there's come a time when all goodness must stop, and I'm getting a little tired. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it, and God bless each one of you. Thank you very, very much.
Take a photograph.
And let me just say on behalf of the commission, Judge Brown, we want to thank you for 32 years of service and all that you've given to Sumner County. It's a deep honor to honor you tonight, and we wish you the best in the coming years. Thank you.
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I want to point out, while we're here, I think speaking of public service, Mr. Cochran. Jerome Cochran here, also the son-in-law of Mr. Brown. I know Judge, it's all about Judge Brown, served in the Tennessee General Assembly from Carter County in the 103rd and 104th General Assembly, and is smart enough to live in Hendersonville now. So thank you for being here. Sorry, Judge Brown.
We all have our own thing.
Thank you, Judge Brown. Thank you. Yes, sir. All right, at this time, I will make my way down. Oh, if I don't kill Mr. Kemp. You take those.
It's not quite the way I meant for that to go.
Sorry, Mr. Kemp. No problem. We can go ahead and have the White House soccer team come forward. As they're coming, if you'll notice, you had a picture on your desk. One of our team members likes a lot of attention, so she'll be here later to sign. She actually thought it would be a good idea earlier this year to fill my office up with balloons and pictures of herself. She didn't know that once you put pictures of yourself out there that they follow you wherever you might go. So it's a good lesson, Emily. But she'll be here later if you'd like an autographed picture from one of the goalies on the White House soccer team. She'll be happy to sign. A resolution honoring White House High School girls soccer team. Whereas the Lady Devils ended the 2017 season as the state AA champions, the first in their program's history after claiming their 8th consecutive District 9 AA and their 3rd consecutive Region 5 AA championships. And whereas the Lady Devils, under the leadership of head coach Mike Felzine, assistant coaches Sean Showalter and Teresa Carver, trainer Danny Green, and manager Carmela DePaz, demonstrated remarkable talent, strict discipline, and determination, and through their accomplishments have become an inspiration to other players in our county. And whereas team members, Emily Johnson, Shelby Hummel, Mackenzie Tabb, Mallory Humphreys, Bailey Miller, Hannah Bone, Madeline Hargrove, Eva Feltz, Caitlin Stevenson, Ellie Combs, Leanna Nesbitt, Delaney Lang, Caitlin Stanfield, Maddie Davis, Sarah Thompson, Ashley Spurlock, Kexty England, Mackenzie Vaughn, Hannah Cook, Lacey Cook, Rebecca Langford, Shelby Deering, Haley Moran, Alexis Bess, Maisie Burrow, Allison Trimmer, Hannah Potts, Holly Matherly, and Olivia Vogel remained focused, showed great perseverance, and never lost confidence, which led to their state championship title. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners, meeting in regular session on this 18th day of December 2017, that this body does hereby congratulate and commend White House High School Lady Devils girls soccer team for their achievements and wishes them further success. And be it further resolved that this resolution is to be spread on the minutes of this body, and the clerk is to furnish a copy of this resolution to the White House High School Lady Devils soccer team. And I so move. Second made by Commissioner Pospisil. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. And it was a big year. These young ladies really, the Greenville team that we beat in the state championship was 2-time state champion, was favored to win it again. So since Mr. Hinton pointed out that the White House-Portland rivalry is so strong that I was out last month to dodge giving accolades to Portland. We want to commend Portland High School for their volleyball championship and our girls for their state soccer championship, because it was great to see Portland knock off Knox Catholic, a powerhouse from East Tennessee, and it was even better to watch our girls knock off Greenville, another East Tennessee power. So congratulations, ladies. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, line up real quick, ladies. He's sick. He got 102 temperature this afternoon. All right, and we could have our seniors stay up here for a minute. We have another resolution. Coach Felzing could not be here tonight. He went to the doctor this afternoon with 102 temperature and couldn't make it. But we want to go ahead. We'll give him the honor at school tomorrow. But whereas Mike Felzing, who has successfully coached girls soccer at White House High School for the past 20 years, has selflessly given his time to teach, motivate, and aid his young athletes. And whereas over the span of his career, Coach Felzing has positively impacted the lives of countless students, and through his efforts and dedication has not only been an outstanding coach, but also a leader, mentor, guardian, and a friend to all his students. And whereas in the 20 years Coach Felzing coached the girls soccer team, his players won 10 district and 7 regional championships and have reached the Final Four in the state championships in 2012 and 2016. And this year he led his team to win their first state championship in the program's history. And whereas as a result of Coach Felzing's diligent efforts to help his student athletes to develop strong character, integrity, and a team spirit, White House High School girls soccer team has become a great success with a bright future. Now therefore be it resolved by the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners, meeting in regular session on this 18th day of December 2017, that this body commends Coach Mike Felzing for his dedication and leadership and expresses its appreciation for his years of exceptional service. And I so move. The second by Commissioner Pospisil. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Do y'all want to take, will you be at school tomorrow? Will you be at school tomorrow? I'll take the time. Thank you, ladies. They stole, yes, I see they've hijacked my scooter.
The sheriff has gone to retrieve it.
Yeah. Good. It's all fun and games till they go to jail.
Why don't you tell Sheriff Pickard to get there?
Yes, we may need the sergeant at arms to retrieve my scooter. All right, at this time we will yield the floor to Commissioner Gamenden.
Jeremy and y'all.
I'd just like to say one thing real quick. Just a little over 2 years ago, and also I would like Mayor Wilbur's in the audience. I wish he would come up here too with them. These are gentlemen and ladies from the TCAT at Portland, and just a little over 2 years ago, the County Commission appropriated some money, the City of Portland appropriated some money, and we've already got awards coming out of the school, and we're really proud to have the College of Applied Technology, the Nashville Portland campus in Portland. We're really pleased, and I will read this resolution. It says, whereas Jeremy Martin was recently chosen as a Skills USA state officer, one of only 7 students to receive this honor in the state of Tennessee, where he will work with other state officers to develop engaging educational conferences for over 30,000 members statewide, and whereas Jeremy Martin graduated from Portland High School in 1992 and after working in the hospitality and food service industry for the majority of his life, he decided to further his knowledge and training, and because of the education programs implemented in Tennessee, he was able to enroll in the CIT program at the Portland campus of the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, Nashville. And whereas Mr. Martin chose to pursue his post-secondary credential at the Portland campus because of the location, convenience of the enrollment process, proximity to an abundance of high-paying careers, and the high-quality instruction. And upon completion of the program, he will be able to pursue not just a job, but a career in a field of his interest and passion. And whereas Skills USA is a partnership of students, teachers, and industry working together to ensure America has a skilled workforce, and its mission is to empower its members to become world-class workers, leaders, and responsible American citizens. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Sumner County Board of County Commissioners meeting in regular session on this 18th day of December 2018 that this body does hereby congratulate and commend Mr. Jeremy Martin for his outstanding accomplishments and wishes him much success in the future. And I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Gomendon, seconded by Commissioner Hinton. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
This is to you.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everybody very much. This was unexpected. Don't quite know what to say, but this is very nice. I appreciate it. I would also like to thank my instructor, Mr. Cutchins.
Let me just say, I know Mr. Gomendon takes great pride in the center, but if you get a chance to go over there and see, they're doing amazing work over there. It's really going to benefit our kids in the decades to come. So I encourage everybody to go over and see, and I want to commend you for your outstanding work on behalf of our county. So thank you.
Do you read that thing first? Do you read the public notice and I gather them?
The Sumner County Commission will hold a public hearing on December 18th, 2017 at 7 p.m. in the County Commission Chambers, located at 355 North Belvedere Drive in Gallatin. Bridges Land Surveying is requesting to have the rezoning of the following properties from R1A to C2. 1623 Scotty Parker Road, Gallatin, Tennessee, 37066. Subject property is on tax map 104, parcel 005.00. Special interest 002 contains 14 acres and is zoned R1A. 140 Rainier Lane, Gallatin, Tennessee. Subject property is on tax map 104, parcel 028.01, contains 12.9 acres and is zoned R1A. 199 Rainier Lane, Gallatin, Tennessee. Subject property is on tax map 104, parcel 028.04, contains 34.8 acres and is zoned R1A. A copy of this notice is on file in the Sumner County Planning and Stormwater Department and the Sumner County Administration Building, located 355 North Belvedere Drive. Anyone having interest or desiring to have questions or make comments is requested to attend the meeting.
Call this meeting to order. We currently have 4 people signed up. Just a reminder how we normally proceed on public hearings is we'll hear from the public first, and then I believe we have a presentation from the proposer of the change, and then after that we will go to the commissioners. All right, I have. Does anyone else wish to sign up for public comment on this proposal? As they're doing that, I'll remind everyone that conversation or public comments are limited to the agenda item itself. We encourage everyone to not speak harshly or negatively about another citizen of Sumner County. Also reminded that in an effort to give everybody a chance to speak, our comments are limited to 5 minutes. Thank you, sir. All right, first up I have Russ Rainier from 199 Rainier Lane, Gallatin, to speak. Mr. Rainier? Right here. I'm sorry, sir.
Good evening. Thank you all. I'm Russ Rainier. I'm one of the property owners. We have 3 property owners. Mr. Laddie Wilson is here. Mr. Kevin Armistead is representing the cemetery property. He's not here tonight. We had one concern that was brought before us, or before y'all, about noise at a church. And we talked with the church about putting a sign up concerning access during their service on Sundays, is what they're concerned about. They don't want noise coming in the church on Sunday during their service. So Mr. Stephen Bridges will talk about the buffer, proposed buffer, and the sign that we are planning to put in there. There now is trees growing up, and I was talking to Mr. Tim Brown at the church. He said he can't really hear the train anymore like he used to, and I think that's because of the thickness of the trees in the buffer pointing towards the railroad track. Of course, it blows its horn right there every time it goes by, and that's a good thing that can't hear it much anymore. So hopefully the buffer, will do just the same thing there, and I really don't foresee much noise coming in and out of there anyway, personally, any more than what there is right now. I have property boarding the new Highway 109, access on the new Highway 109. That would be my first concern, personally, to have to sell a lot off that property that's actually accessed on 109, both sides of that. And the way I understand it, the access after that's built would have an access to the back part of the property behind that and beside that. So that would be my first concern for where the any construction possibly would start, which is not near the church. It's on the new Highway 109, probably a half-mile away, possibly. This rezoning, I hope we can do that and move forward with this part. I'm going to read this for a second here. I ask you to vote for it. I'm definitely for it. When we get someone to lease the property or buy the property, they'd have access on the new site plan, and they would have a site plan that would come before the Planning Commission. So I'm hoping we can move on to that step and start with the construction. If I've had a property across the highway with a realtor and have not sold it or leased it. It's 5 acres on the other side of the highway. And hopefully, if this gets zoned C2, that will help with that to get somebody interested. And I know the Sumner County and the state of Tennessee is interested in business. I think that whole intersection and that whole area just lends itself to commercial property more so than what it is now, residential property. So it's my thinking that it just needs to go commercial property. The fact that I own a big part of it is my business, but, you know, I think it would be good for Sumner County, and whether I was to sell the whole property as one lump or whether I leased parts of it or anything, that's yet to be seen. I don't really have anybody wanting to do that, but my next thing,
30 seconds.
my next step is wanting to get it rezoned, and that's why I'm here. And I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have Philip Graham from 5320 Highway 31W, Portland, Tennessee. Next up, we'll have Timothy Brown following him. Mr. Graham, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening. Of course, my name's Philip Graham, and I don't live in that area, but I am a member of Salem Missionary Baptist Church. Now, since this was proposed a few months ago and we heard of it, the church has had serious concerns about the roadway that's proposed to go in directly beside of our church. And we feel like that it's going to cause a lot of extra traffic. We know it will. And it's going to be a noise concern there. Now, we had a meeting at our church with the developers that seemed to be fruitful, but it appears as though the only thing that the only ideas they've come up with is some cosmetic trees that they feel like that will buffer noise. And the church doesn't feel that way, doesn't think that that's going to help. Yesterday was our business meeting at our church. Now, rather than having everybody from our church just drapes in here and come before you and give their opinions, I'm on a committee representing our church as well as two other brothers of the church. And we took vote. We kicked this around at our business meeting yesterday quite a bit, the pros, the cons. We took vote at our church as to whether we wanted to just drop any opposition or whether we wanted to voice our opposition to this project. And the vote was almost unanimous. Nobody out there seems to want the project, and so as a representative of the church on this committee, I'm asking you not to approve this. And I know that there are other alternatives to the street that's coming in beside of our church, to what's proposed there, because on the new Highway 109, there's already 4 access points out there that the state, when they built the new highway, provided out there. And so what we have right now, this, no, there's no traffic really there now because it's just residential. But we know that when they start looping traffic from this commercial property and coming in, they've got it designed to come in and out right around by our church, and it will harm us. It'll be a noise concern and a traffic concern, and I'm asking you, please don't approve this.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Mr. Timothy Brown from 1171 Elizabeth, Gallatin, Tennessee. Mr. Brown, the floor is yours. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, council members. My name is Tim Brown, as it was spoken. First of all, I'd like to say I appreciate being able to have the company come and talk to us about what their proposal was, and it seemed like they worked really hard to try to meet several and most of our concerns. Unfortunately, it seems like that church feels like that's probably not going to be enough, and our church voted to oppose this for various and different reasons. And I'm here to stand as a member and voice our opinion, our body, our members. And we're hoping that things can work out for the best, even for our church and our entire community, that everyone can come together and do the right thing. So God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Laddie Wilson from 1267 Windsor Drive, Gallatin, Tennessee. Mr. Wilson, the floor is yours.
Little adjustment there. My name's Laddie Wilson. I do live at 1267 Windsor Drive in Gallatin. I have a log home on the property that we're discussing. I have a office and warehouse on that same property, and there's an old pole barn back there. A few years ago, we decided we needed to do something with the property. We closed our business down, and we got the office and warehouse to lease, and I let the neighbors know what I was thinking about trying to do, and they wanted to be involved with it. And the three that's there now is the ones that wound up being willing to pay the cost to put a site plan together and buildings on the property. I mean, it probably won't be that way, but there's buildings there, and if anybody ever comes along and develops it, they'll still have to be approved for what's there. We did indeed meet with the guys from the church. They had concerns about the noise. We discussed it, and we've discussed it since then, and we've agreed with the things that we talked about at that point in time, but the buffer zone. And there was concern about that driveway. It's a gravel drive right now, and it does have a road drawn there, but I'm not sure that if you put a feeder road coming out of there onto Old 109 that the state would allow it because the site distance is there. It works okay for one or two people, which is the way it is right now. But as far as noise, I think that we have done everything that the church has asked us to do. We haven't physically put it in place, but we have agreed to do that. And we hope to be good neighbors with or without the development, but appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Mr. James Porter from 1032 Nichols Circle, Gallatin, Tennessee. Mr. Porter, the floor is yours.
Sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your time tonight. My name is James Porter. I am a resident here in Gallatin, been a member of Salem Missionary Baptist Church several years now. As he said, we did meet with them, and as far as being in agreement with the buffer zone, I don't think we ever come to an agreement that that would work for us. We agreed that that may be an option for us. Another option was to access it off of the new 109 bypass, come around behind the church, and maybe put a cul-de-sac to go back out onto the new 109 bypass. As it is right now, the driveway lies approximately 150 to 200 feet from our church, give or take a little bit. It's not very far at all. We heard yesterday they was talking about maybe expanding the road about 8 foot for tractor trailers or whatever to come in and out. We are very concerned with the noise of it. I don't think, and I may get in trouble at church for this, but I'll just have to deal with that, but I don't think anyone at our church is opposed to what they're wanting to do with their property. I think everyone is opposed to how they're wanting to access it. Another issue that come up, and if I'm out of term, y'all stop me, but there was another thing that come about the industrial park off of Wallace Lane here a while back that is on the table right now. And there was a newspaper clipping that come out in the Tennessean that showed this being access to that also. So if this gets passed, then we're concerned if the other gets passed, are they going to access all of that right beside of our church? And it just fears us for the noise. You know, we have meetings there on Sunday mornings, sometimes on Sunday evenings, and we have revival. And like I say, we're not opposed to what they're wanting to do with their own property. We're just wanting to keep in mind that we have to have some, quiet time when we're trying to have our church. But we appreciate your time tonight. And like they said, on behalf of what the church voted, we would ask that you, not pass it tonight, at least until we can come up with some kind of definite agreement of how we can do this roadway. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. At this time, I believe we have a presentation, so I will yield the floor for our presentation. And Mr. Bridges is here. Yeah. Without objection, we'll yield the floor to him. If you would state your name and address for the record.
My name is Steve Bridges. I live at 116 North Country Club Drive in Hendersonville. This is a project that's been before y'all earlier this year. I know that most of y'all have that in your packet. You've looked through all that in there. But my name is Steve Bridges, and I'm with Bridges Land Surveying. I'm representing the local landowners who are not developers, and their names are Laddie Wilson. And of course, Kevin Armstead is a representative of the Sumner MG, and of course, Rush Rainier. This property is located primarily along the new Highway 109, close to the intersection and at the intersection with the old 109. All of this property that we're talking about is sandwiched in between the railroad and Highway 109, old and new. The owners contacted me when they started getting some inquiries about the property. Questions like, can we build an office on here or a retail business on here, warehouse, convenience store property? And if so, would you be interested in selling me some property? And all of that is why we are requesting to change the zoning to Commercial 2 Highway Planned Unit Development, a PUD. With the Commercial 2 Highway PUD zoning, it gives the County Planning Commission and the Commission the power to keep the standards and the requirements in place even if all this property is sold to someone else. A planned unit development zoning allows us to eliminate some of the permitted uses that would have been in a straight zoning. We went in and we eliminated liquor store, tobacco store, lawnmower repair, auto towing and vehicle storage, tire retreading and repair shops, motel and travel lodges, mini storage warehouses, payday loan services, laundry, cleaning and garment service, batting and golf driving ranges, dance halls and studios, undertaking service, and veterinary clinics and kennels. But being a PUD also gives the planning, allows us to put in place restrictions on types of buildings and designs that can be done. These would include, in the office, restaurant, retail buildings shall be constructed of brick or ornamental stone with asphaltic architectural roof shingles. Any office, restaurant, or retail building constructed with a flat or low slope roof would have to have a parapet wall that conceals the roof. Any warehouse built, whether it is retail warehouse or office warehouse, shall be constructed of the same brick or stone ornamental masonry storefront. The sides would have to have a minimum of 50% brick and ornamental masonry stone. And now, in that case, the metal standing seam roof would be allowed on the warehouse building. The present owners of this property want a quality development built with quality products. They want something that they can be proud of in that area. And yes, this property has limited access points on new 109. All of those points are were shown as access points on the drawings. And it only has one access point on old 109 at Rainier Lane. All these access points throughout this development will be a cross-access easement for adjacent building sites within this site. Within the site, not adjacent sites. The only access point along the old 109 at Rainier Lane is located just south of the Salem Missionary Baptist Church. We've worked with the church to move the entrance farther away from the church site. But it's unfortunate we can only move the road over 8 feet because, and that is due to the site distance requirements to pull out there. So what we have done is we had committed to provide them with a sign that would prohibit pickup or delivery prior to 5 p.m. on Sunday. This sign will be posted right at the front of the development. We will also be installing 2 staggered rows of Leland cypress trees between 5 to 6 foot tall after they're planted. They will be planted on 8-foot centers, and the rows will be 4 feet apart. And these Leland cypress trees grow between 3 and 5 feet per year. They reach a height of up to between 40 and 60 feet tall, and with a width of 20 to 25 feet wide. They're highly recommended for wind barriers, sound barriers, all over. They can pretty well grow in any type of soil. Now, since there are still some current concerns about when we plant the trees, there'd be gaps in between the trees until they grow a little bit. So we came in and we committed to install a 6-foot tall wooden privacy fence along the property from the back corner towards the front. It will end in a line with the front parking spaces there. That's approximately 150 feet in that area. What we're asking for tonight is we can't move the road. It's an existing road that is there. It's probably going to be one of the minor access points on there, because once something is developed in this area, there's no doubt that it's going to come off the new Highway 109. That's where everything major is going to be. But this is an access point, and it's an access point now that's being used by people that are already living there. I can't just do away with it. I would request the approval of this project, and if you have any questions, I'd be more than glad to answer them, if I can.
Can you get your microphone, Mr. Driver?
I know that someone mentioned earlier that the road was 150 feet from the church. I don't believe that is correct. Can you tell me how far that road is from the church?
The road is actually about 98 feet from the church. It's closer to the church than they think, but it is actually farther from the church than the church is from the main road.
No question I have.
Aaron, can you hit the mic?
Motion for approval for discussion.
Second. Hang on 1 second. Let me do this first. Thank you, Mr. Bridges.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Mr. Taylor was in the queue ahead of time. Did you have a question, Mr. Taylor? I did. Okay. Hang on to it for discussion. Yeah. Okay. We'll call this meeting. We'll call the planning meeting adjourned, public comments adjourned. Commissioner Good, your motion. Okay. Motion to approve as submitted. Second by Commissioner Shell. All right. Commissioner Bill Taylor.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, from what I understand, since it's a PUD, then it still has to go back through planning and all the design and the buffering and the things. We still have a big hammer to use against them to help the church alleviate their fears and take care of both systems. Just because it's it's rezoned, we still get to go through planning, and planning can then dictate, a whole lot of things, I think including design.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. Commissioner Driver.
Yes, I have several things I'd like to say about this. I have been meeting with both of these groups and met with them together. And the first thing I'd like to say is if every opposing group got along the way these two do, we'd have an easy job. I don't think I've heard a harsh word between the two. And it's just kind of unfortunate that we haven't been able to get a solution worked out. They did have a meeting at the church where the landowners and the church met and discussed maybe some options and things like that. I do believe that they have, been trying to work with the church, but unfortunately, they have not been able to come to an agreement. And again, basically, I think the church was asking that the road be either moved over, which they're saying they cannot do for the site purposes. They've asked for the cul-de-sac. Basically, the road at this moment is a gravel driveway. When we say road, we're talking about a gravel driveway that runs beside the church. And so that, that is the issue. I understand why the church is concerned about that. They're really concerned that trucks are going to be coming in and out beside this building, on Sunday or whenever else to go to, most deliveries are made to the back of the buildings. They're not coming necessarily through the front entrance and all that. And unfortunately, I'm also afraid that the old 109 is an easier way for trucks to get in sometimes than it is to cut across, especially with the way the intersection is at the new 109. I had a couple of other notes here. I think also I want to say that I believe this issue was complicated by incorrect information that was put out for the industrial park recently. That was a major mess where old information was used. There was a map that was put out. I saw it myself. It was highlighted. I believe it was colored in, showing the main entrance to that industrial park coming right beside the church. The church has concerns that if this road is put in now, that's going to make that easier for that to happen on down the road, which also I can understand. And I believe that's the main thing that I have on that. I will just have to say we're having more and more issues with this in Sumner County, and we've had discussions with it amongst ourselves where we're having issues with people who've owned property for years and people that own property around them. And we don't want to get in the business of telling people what they need to do with their land or not do with it. In this situation, we have a church that's sitting there. This church has been for a long time. And again, while I believe these folks have tried to work something out, they haven't. The church is opposed to it, so I cannot support this tonight.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Driver. Commissioner Ring.
Thank you. I'm looking at a satellite, and so from what I've heard, it sounds like Rainier Lane is not paved, correct? That's gravel? Is that correct? Okay. Can it be required as part of this PUD that Rainier Lane be paved? Can the PUD require it?
There's a whole lot more detail about that, because what size road, it would have to meet road classifications with the road department.
Okay, so that's not currently a county road, is that correct?
That I don't know. Rodney would.
Is there somebody who can answer that question?
Without objection, we'll let Rodney speak.
A project like this is a commercial project. It's a C2. Anything that's done, any kind of development in the county requires paving. You have to ask for a variance for a dust-free parking. So any kind of commercial, industrial, even subdivisions that require public roads, all that will be paved. The only way they're going to be able to get out of that is if they ask for a variance from the zoning board, or in this case, if it's a PUD, it will go to the planning commission for that decision. So you should always assume that it would be required to be paved. They would have to have special permission for it not to be. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One more comment, if I may. They're talking about putting Leland cypress along. I guess there's a buffer. I will tell you from experience that Leland cypress will grow together very quickly. We have them in my HOA, and I will tell you within a few years of them being built or put in, they'd grown together. And if you try to walk between those, it's almost impossible. They will become very dense. So I think that will provide a very nice buffer for that area. Thank you.
Commissioner Gu. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, just a couple of reminders on this particular request. This was the one, just as a reminder for the body and those that may not have been here that night. I know we had a lot of absence that night that came 4 or 5 months ago that got highly misinterpreted and confused in the other rezoning that night that was very hotly contested for other reasons. And just as another reminder, the commissioners that also share this district were just confused that night on which one it was. So we asked, technically it be tabled back. So remind the whole body how much emphasis that we have always put on our committee process. Technically, this has passed 4 times. 2 unanimous in planning, 2 unanimous in legislative, as submitted. And I do think that the owners have showed great faith with the public meeting that they had, and willing to do but whatever it takes to be good neighbors with what has been mentioned between the trees, the fence, the sign that will not allow the deliveries that one gentleman mentioned about. And again, having faith in our committee system. And to reiterate what Dr. Bill Taylor said, it sits on planning. Any changes beyond the typical PUD, it's going to have to come back anyway to planning and to this body for a final. So I would say that we should move on with this one.
Thank you, Commissioner Good. There's no one else in the queue. Oh, hang on one second. Commissioner Becker.
Yeah, just real quick about this sign. What exactly is the sign? I may have missed. I heard reference to the sign, but I didn't remember hearing what the sign said.
It said no deliveries after 5 p.m.
Until 5 p.m. on Sunday.
What's that? Until 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Is that correct? 1 p.m. on Sunday, till after 1 p.m. on Sunday.
And 1 p.m. on Sunday.
And then the enforcement of that will just be, is there any, is it just going to be a sign? Okay, all right.
Okay. All right, there's no one else in the queue, so let's vote on 1712-01.
Resolution's on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. Anyone not voting wishing to vote? Anyone wish to change your vote? With 16 affirmative votes, the resolution is approved.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kemp. We'll now move to our public hearing on Somerset Downs.
Sumner County Commission will hold a public hearing on December 18, 2017 in the County Commission Chambers in Sumner County Administration Building at 355 North Belvedere Drive. Reagan Smith is requesting to have the property located Long Hollow Pike, Hendersonville, Tennessee, zoned from residential 1A to low-density planned unit development. Subject property is on tax map 123, parcel 035.0, contains 5.04 acres, and is currently zoned residential 1A. The rezoning will allow for the continuation of existing planned unit development. A copy of this notice is on file in the Sumner County Planning and Stormwater Development in the Sumner County Administration Building. Anyone having any interest or desiring to ask questions concerning the request is invited to attend the meeting.
We'll call this hearing to order. Is there anyone that wishes to sign up for public comments on this agenda item? Okay. Meeting is adjourned. Is there a motion to approve as submitted? Yes, sir, Mr. Pomeroy. So moved by Commissioner Pomeroy, seconded by Commissioner Gomendon. Sorry, Ms. Kemp, I saw him first. Okay, see no one in the queue, so let's go to a vote.
Resolution is on the board. Each commissioner, please enter your vote. $22 votes are entered. Anyone not voting wishing to vote? Anyone wishing to change your vote? With 21 affirmative votes, the resolution is approved.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kemp. All right, our consent agenda item, we have approved the agenda. Now we need to approve the items. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion made by Commissioner Chris Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Graves. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. All right, your written reports from county officials are on your desk. Let's see, your notaries are there. Is there a motion to approve our notaries? Motion made by Commissioner Mo Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Akins. Do we have that list of notaries? It's on your desk. Okay. Okay, yes, sir. All right, I see no one in the queue to speak, so we'll vote.
Notary
on our
applications
notaries.
are on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. 19 votes are entered. Anyone, all 22 votes are entered. Does anyone wish to change your vote? It is unanimous, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, we'll go now to Committee on Committees. Ms. Lamar?
Appointments to be made. The first two are appointments that are to seats that Ben Harris left when he resigned, and where the first one is financial management, and the nomination is for Danny Sullivan to take that appointment, and I so move.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Lamar, seconded by Commissioner Rain. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Ms. Lamar?
The second one is the emergency medical services, and the appointment is Danny Sullivan, and I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Lamar, seconded by Commissioner Good. See no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Ms. Lamar?
Okay, and the next is the E911 Board, and the first appointment was, the present member is Jerry Stone, and he's being replaced by the recommendation of Paul Hobsmeyer, and I so move.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Lamar, seconded by Commissioner Good.
And the next one is Archie McGinnis, and it's to reappoint him.
Okay. Hang on, I got
I'm
to vote.
sorry. Can we group and approve?
Yeah, we can. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Archie McGinnis, and it's to reappoint him,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
so move.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Lamar. Who had a second by Commissioner Guthrie? I see no one in the queue. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
And next month, we'll have the Agricultural Extension Services. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the Health Board.
Mr. Decker, Education. Oh, hang on. Okay. Highway Commission, Mr. Graves.
Mr. Chairman, I listened to Mr. Kemp. I punched my button early.
I
See,
saw
I'm on the screen.
Highways are fired up tonight.
Gee, we don't really have a report, except we got two resolutions approving Pinnacle Way out in Castaigne Springs area, and also a resolution to approve agreement between the Highway Department and the school system to allow schools to pave work on Wall Hardison. I'll get it out in a minute. Elementary school. I'm just glad to see that the Highway Department and the schools are working together, Mr. Chairman.
Me too. Me too. Thank you. Commissioner Hinton. Oh, I'm sorry.
Could I ask Chairman Graves to give some commentary that we had again about...
Hang on one second. Commissioner Hinton, could you use your button again?
There you go.
That
How's
should...
that? I'd like to ask Chairman Graves to comment on some of the discussions we had again about the impact that all these subdivisions we're approving it's having on the roads that are already in existence. And just for the benefit of everybody knowing that we're having those discussions and what we're trying to accomplish.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to speak on that. I appreciate Ms. Hinton bringing that up. These subdivisions in small, a lot of the developments have coming in 50, 100 houses. Some of them on state roads, which we don't have a lot of control. But the county, I think we need to put some teeth in some kind of policy to address these issues with some of the subdivisions. We have some out in our area that's little or no, you got a little green sign, 3 by 10 or whatever it is. That's all you got, and a stop sign, but there's nothing really posted at, especially the bigger subdivisions or any road really, but there's a lot of traffic coming at them, so we're discussing a way to address that through the Highway and the Planning Commission maybe to look at something to do for later on, or as soon as we can. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Grace. All right, General Ops, Michelle.
No reports.
Okay. Emergency Services, Mr. Guthrie.
Mr. Chairman, I'm still on the screen.
Oh, hang on. All right, I got it.
All right.
Camera likes you tonight, Commissioner Grace.
Resolution 1712-03. It's a resolution requesting that the County Technical Assistance Services, known as CTASC, evaluate our present volunteer fire services and complete a study for future services and needs. What we've asked them is it's an official resolution that has to come from the commission. The volunteer fire departments are aware of it and in support of it. What we're going to ask them to do is evaluate our all county services, anything that's on the curtilage of the counties and municipalities where sometimes, say, Hendersonville comes over and helps, or vice versa with the volunteers. They're going to also look at that. And everybody's aware that they may come back and tell them that they need to reorganize where certain station houses are, maybe dissolve some or add to some, and they're all in agreement that it's something that we need to do. It does not address funding or how to appropriate funding. So that the CTAS was very clear that they don't do that. So, but it's more about making sure that we have the proper services throughout the county.
Okay. Is that a motion, Commissioner?
Yes, sir, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
motion made by Commissioner Taylor. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Guthrie. I see no one in the queue. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
All right, so the second one is 1712-04, and this is an intergovernmental cooperative agreement for ambulance services in the White House, Millersville, and Portland areas. And what we're going to do is there's parts of Robertson County that actually could do a better job of covering, say, Portland and some White House, and vice versa. There's parts of Sumner County we could do a better job covering Millersville and other spots. So what they've done is they've divvied it up. It's going to be the exact same number of calls for service for both groups. It's not going to change that. The one thing that will change is hopefully we'll have about a 2 to 3 minute response time that's a little bit better than what we've got now. And it's cost neutral. So moved.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Chris Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Good. We're going to go to our county executive.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not going to slow things down, but I do want to recognize Mayor Wilbur. He's been here tonight. They've passed their resolution, the City of Portland, City of White House, and the City of Millersville. And tonight it's also on the Robertson County Commission agenda. And so we're hopeful this passes, and I think this is going to help in response times and public safety. Thank you.
Yeah, I think if you live on areas that straddle the county line, I mean, it's not uncommon that services get confused between the county. We have the White House football stadium is actually in Robertson County. So whenever we need an ambulance and we call, it's a process to explain that we're actually in Sumner County, even though we're in Robertson County. So I think any kind of interagency agreement will be good. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, see no one in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right, we'll go to legislative. Mr. Good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 1712-05, naming Kenneth Thompson Sumner County historian. That was unanimous. I so move.
Second. Okay, motion made by Commissioner Good, seconded by Commissioner Shell. See no one in the queue. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, Mr. Good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 1712-06, a resolution requesting neutral class pay to the Sumner County Election Office for the pay officials. This is revenue neutral. There's no new money. They've changed the line item. This was a request there. It was unanimous. It was unanimous in our committee, and I so move.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Good, seconded by Commissioner Ring. Let's vote on this one. 6.
Resolution's on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. 17 votes are entered. 22 votes are entered. Does anyone wish to change your vote? With 21 affirmative votes, the resolution is approved.
Okay, Mr. Good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 1712-07, a resolution designating a bridal house for Sumner County be renamed Brinkley Park at the historic bridal home. Whew, try that again. That was discussed by and brought forth by the county executive and the historic committee that is running that house. It was unanimous, and I so move.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Good, seconded by Commissioner Shell. I see no one in the queue. Let's vote on 1712-07.
Resolution's on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. 20 votes are entered. All 22 votes are entered. Does anyone wish to change your vote? Resolution is unanimously approved.
Okay. Mr. Good?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 17-1208 is just for docketing, and that is our annual where we set our dates for the upcoming year for 2018 county commissions. It was unanimous, so moved.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Good, seconded by Commissioner Lamarb. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes
That's it, Mr.
unanimously. Okay, we'll go to budget. Mr. Pomeroy. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Becker. I apologize. It's the bottom of the page. Mr. Becker, Financial Management.
No report.
Well played, Mr. Becker. Well played.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Pomeroy.
A resolution appropriating $51,515.67 for state inmate medical service reimbursement to the budget of the Sheriff's Office. I so move.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Pomeroy, second by Commissioner Bill Taylor. Let's vote.
Resolutions on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. 19 votes are entered. 20 votes are entered. Anyone not voting, wishing to vote? Anyone wishing to change your vote? Resolution receives 21 affirmative votes. It's approved on first and final reading.
Mr. Pomeroy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 1712-10, resolution appropriating $133,155.47 from the general fund, unassigned fund balance for inmate medical bills to the Sheriff's Office. I'd like to note on this, this is nearly a 60% saving. We also passed it on the first reading. The law director negotiated 60% saving if we paid those bills by the end of the year. So I make a motion.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Pomeroy, seconded by Commissioner Vaughn. Let's vote.
Resolution on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. All 22 votes are entered. Does anyone wish to change your vote?
And thanks to our Sheriff's Department and Law Director for negotiating 60% savings. That's wonderful for the county.
Resolution is unanimously approved on first and final reading.
Okay. Mr. Pomeroy.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. 1712-11, a resolution appropriating juvenile court $100,000 from county general fund unassigned fund balance for juvenile detention housing for increase in annual expenses, and I so move.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Pomeroy, second by Commissioner Vaughn. I see no one in the queue, so let's vote.
Resolution is on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. Twenty-one votes are entered. All 22 votes are entered. Does anyone wish to change your vote? Resolution is unanimously approved on first and final reading.
Mr. Pomeroy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 1712-12, appropriating $33,919.15 from the capital projects local funding for new communication equipment repairs for the emergency management. I so move.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Pomeroy, seconded by Commissioner Vaughn. Let's vote.
Resolution is on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. 22 votes are entered. Does anyone wish to change your vote? The resolution is unanimously approved on first and final reading.
Mr. Pomeroy.
1712-13, appropriate up to $350,000 from capital projects local funding for the Justice Planning Associates for jail project plans and the hiring of the construction consultant manager. I so move.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Pomeroy, second by Commissioner Bill Taylor. Mr. Hyde, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not opposed to this, but I do have an inquiry.
Okay.
What kind of presentation was made by this company? I mean, what are we expecting for this amount of money, and were others involved?
Okay. Okay. Mr. Pomeroy, can you answer that?
Well, I will answer, then I will refer to Ms. Shell, who led that. But they did come and make presentations, from my understanding. I also had a conference call. So this would be to help us with the actual plans that we would be getting for whenever the project would be completed, not necessarily committing us to that, but Justice Planning Associates came and did an entire project review for us, taking us for the next 50 years on the judicial system, and then also with the hiring of a consultant. I will let Ms. Shell be more specific than that, but
Thank you, Mr. Pomeroy. That's correct. JPA did an extensive amount of meetings with lots of presentations with the advisory committee, which was pretty much every elected official within our judicial system, along with our sheriff and all of our judges that were also included in that, and a few county commissioners, as well as with our budget presentation, as well as our director of schools was also included in those presentations. And so this basically will give us their programming as well as a project consultant, like Mr. Pomeroy said. So if we choose at some point to move forward, we will know exactly what we're moving forward with.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Shell. Mr. Hyde, did you have any other questions? Then I'm going to go to Commissioner Taylor.
That is correct. We hired JPA to do that. That is correct.
yeah, we Mr. Wright, at the very beginning of this stages of this, there was 4 companies that came and presented and what they would do. Have you had a chance to see the report yet? We'll make sure we get that emailed over to Commissioner Hyde. Very in-depth. The best report I've seen since I've been up here, which is a short period of time relative, but it's been very good. And so, you know, somebody asked if we were committed in budget. One of the questions was this committing us to the project? And by no way is it committing us to do the project or bypassing. However, it will help with the architectural plans, the exact layout of what, if this commission or any other commission wants to do something, it does give us the plan for that.
And I will just also add that JPA will be doing an extensive presentation for the full county commission. We just didn't want to schedule that in the month of December. With the holidays, we felt like we wanted to make sure that everybody was present and available to be at that presentation. So they will be doing that in the next couple of months.
Commissioner Mo Taylor.
Yeah, I'd like to make everybody aware too that if you don't remember, 350,000 added to the 180 that we've already spent puts us at $530,000. So I don't, I don't, you know, disagree with the theory of the need, but to sink that much money into consulting and designs and fees, I can't support and I can't vote for. I'm not campaigning or I'm not kicking no can. I just can't support that kind of money into paperwork and presentations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Taylor. We'll go next to Commissioner Henry.
And I asked as poignantly as I could, are you going to come up with estimates or are you going to come up with prices? These are not estimates. These people are prepared to come with the cost of this project. And they're not, they're prepared to come and tell us exactly what their architectural costs will be. They're prepared to tell us exactly what the construction cost is going to be. So this is like going to the right doctor if you've got a bad enough disease, and it costs too much. Yes, it does cost too much. Amen, brother. That's a whole lot of money and way more than I ever feel comfortable voting for. But the alternative to this is more expensive than we're asking to be approved tonight, in my estimation.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll go to Commissioner Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Echo what my colleague from Portland just pointed out is, and I want to compliment Madam Shell as the chairman of this ad hoc committee. We have spent, and also was on that, I just want to point out, Mr. Chairman, also on the committee is not only all those elected officials, but also Mayor Paige Brown, Councilman at Large Sean Fennell, numerous citizens from the Honor Square, like Clay Haynes as an example, Jay Ingram, Tip Martin, and so forth. And one other thing to point out for the record, and collectively, these were, I don't know how many hours, Michelle, but probably 50 hours collectively. And last, it asked about how we chose these folks. It was basically a bid process where we asked anyone that was interested in doing this. As the law director pointed out, there were 4. The company we hired is the only company in the country that this is all they do 100% of the time. And there's been 4 other judicial systems that in the state of Tennessee that has hired people to redo their courthouses in the last decade. It is this company that has just done Montgomery County, Davidson County, Rutherford County, and of course we're talking to them. So I just want to point that out, Mr. Chairman.
We'll go to Commissioner Becker.
So concerning the pricing, to Commissioner Hinton's point, I mean, if the pricing, as I understand it, obviously is in today's environment. I mean, if we were to act upon some of this activity or construction in, I don't know, 5 years, are we saying, I mean, the pricing is obviously going to be different at that point, right? Or what's the, maybe Mr. Hinton can you know a little bit more about this? I mean, what would happen in that case?
When JPA gives us their figures, they have allotted that into their estimates. That will be included. This is what they do for a living. They did this with Murfreesboro, they did this with Davidson County, and they factored in what the cost would be 5 years down the road versus what, that's all figured into it.
All right, I see no one else in the queue, so let's go to vote.
The resolution is on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. 19 votes are entered. 22 votes are entered. Anyone not voting wishing to vote? Anyone wishing to change your vote? With 20 affirmative votes, the resolution is approved.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kemp. Mr. Pomeroy.
1712-14, appropriate $397,318.04 for Portland EMS station staffing and medical reimbursement. This reads a little bit confusing, but last year during the budget process, we wasn't 100% sure on how the fees were going to come back in for some of our billing, and so we put that money on hold, working with Mr. Douglas, and said, let's get a better feel for the fees that we're collecting before we commit to this. And so the fees are coming in as projected, even a little bit better than projected, that Mr. Lawing, if somebody wanted, could justify there. So this is, to us, he's not even spending all the money that he is collecting back from these fees. So we've kind of escrowed that in instead of letting him hire these people immediately. We wanted to make sure that the service, so now we understand what we're getting billed for, and we'll be able to serve the citizenry better with more staff. And I make a motion.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Pomeroy, seconded by Commissioner Gamenden. Let's vote.
Resolution is on the board. Each commissioner, please record your vote. 21 votes are entered. Anyone not voting wish to vote? Anyone wish to change your vote? With 21 affirmative votes, resolution is approved on first and final reading.
Mr. Pomeroy.
1712-15, appropriating $28,000 from Castilian Springs Community Center improvements for roof and other innovations. And I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Pomeroy, seconded by Commissioner Aiken. No one in the queue. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Pomeroy.
I would like to give a report as it is joke, but I did miss last month's meeting due to the beginning of the Christmas tree sales, and a lot of people on this body supported that endeavor. We raised enough money to send 8 high school kids on mission trip selling those trees this year, and we're done by December 9th, which was good. So I would just like to say thank you to the continued support of this body.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Pomeroy.
I would just like to appreciate the being able to renovate the Cascade.
Hang on, Mr. Gray, can you hit your button? We're good now.
I'm sorry. Anyway, I want to appreciate the confidence in remodeling, renovating the Castaigne Springs Community Center. It's very important to that area. I went out last week, was taking the Christmas tree down, and there's probably 25 shingles laying out on the ground just after. So that's a sign how bad the roof is. Hopefully we can have enough money to do the floors, do the kitchen, do the bathroom. Very important to maybe be able to draw some revenue off of it, and maybe never have to come back to this body for any more money. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Graves. Mr. Holt.
Make mine short and sweet, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank all the commissioners for all the hard work you've done this year. I think we've accomplished a lot, and I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a safe and Happy New Year.
I will echo that Merry Christmas and go to Mr. Pospisil. We're adjourned.